Hello, I'm making this video to make a history of what's going on with me. I've kind of ignored this for a while, about 5 or 6 years. Probably longer than that, but I've noticed in the last 6 or 7 years, I will have a moment of, seems like, anxiety, panic, where I just kind of freeze up. Had one of those last night. It was like a rush. And it's like, what for me, it's like a feeling of foreboding. Like I've been in the moment where I am previously, almost like deja vu. Last night, I had, I don't even know if it's panic, anxiety, or just some random thing that's coming up. I know that in the last 4 months I've been through quite a bit. I'm dealing with a diagnosis of ataxia. I just received my health card, so that should be a relief. I have pretty much everything falling into line in the time frame it's supposed to. But it overwhelmed me yesterday, this attack. And my walking has gotten to the point where I need to start therapy, and next week my benefits kick in. So I'll be able to start making doctor's appointments. I'm probably 2 or 3 months behind where I should be on that. I kind of blame that on people not helping me get through all that stuff, explaining it to me well enough. And I have not lived a perfect life. I have flaws like everyone else. I don't. I believe a lot of what I'm going through physically is twofold. Well, I have explanations for my decreasing physical abilities. Ataxia is something that is, they don't really know what causes it. They don't have a way to cure it. What from they know that substance abuse is in the history of people usually acquire this. Also, head injuries, both of which I've had. And as a driver, I've had a fair amount of accidents. Nothing, one time where I had to be hospitalized. But having read up on concussions and blows the head and reading about different things that go on with concussions, I believe that the amount of accidents that I have had may have played a part in it too. Also, ataxia, one of the things that happens to somebody with it is their balance fades, ability to walk. It's almost like when you're a toddler and you're learning to walk, you just don't know how to do it fast enough. Well, what it is your brain is not able to process moving fast enough in the proper way, and that is what causes imbalance. And, and the limited amount of information I have, the nerves in the legs, the message is not getting there. For years, I worked as a delivery guy, and I've always worn tennis shoes all times of the year. And I believe that I may have caused damage to the nerves on my feet, especially the last couple of years driving. There's been a bit of snow, maybe worn out, that on top of my head injury and my substance abuse and my many accidents. I think that is, it all plays a part in it. I understand what's going on. I love to get a detailed record on how many accidents I have had. Um, I think it might give insight into how my affliction has affected me and how it may have grown. Um, but I feel like I need to talk about this because at various times these anxiety attacks have happened to me. Um, First time I remember it happening was I never felt I I got into an accident when I was working as a delivery driver at Jimmy John's, and a gal made a left-hand turn into my car when I was getting ready to go in the left-hand turn lane, and she hit me head on. She totaled my car, head to head, and I kind of blew it off at the time, but I think there were things that were there. I probably should have stopped for a second and looked at. Just different things that happened in my personal life. up having to get another car. I had been with the same car for quite a few years, 5 years, which is probably the longest I ever owned a car. Shortly thereafter, I would go shopping to Hiller's grocery store where I'm at, and I would have these panic attacks, and it was almost like I wanted to crawl out of my own skin. It wasn't, you're in a grocery store. It wasn't very busy, but you just wanted to get away from everyone. I had to learn to slow my breathing down, and I managed it. And that's pretty much how I've handled it. A couple of times I've had these things happen when I was driving, and I'm not a person who panics. I've been through many different things, and I've learned to adjust through many things in my life. And I remember one time I had one when I was driving, running deliveries on a busy night with deliveries, and somehow I calmed myself down after a delivery. I had this on a very busy stretch of road. How I did not end up in an accident was beyond me. Uh, Frightening. Things, when they happen, they feel foreboding, even though there's nothing there to feel negatively about. Um, just wanted to put this out there. I don't know what is going on. You know, I don't know what causes this. It may be the trauma from the head-on accident. I was working in a bar when I had my concussion, and the idiots that built the kitchen put ceramic tiles on the floor. And it was a bar restaurant type deal, and it was, in a restaurant you have to have something that is for the floor that is fairly uh, safe for people to walk on. And when you're dealing with oil and fats that get on the floor, can make it slippery. Get water on the floor, ceramic tile, be pretty tough. Um, Nut I fell, it was actually pretty slow. And I was holding myself, my hand to some one thing and one hand to the other, and the floor was just wet, oily, whatever. I was right near the kitchen, and so I had my two arms were bracing me up. My feet went out from underneath me, even though I was standing still. Hit my head, and I essentially lost a few hours of my day. I ended up in the hospital, and on the way to the hospital, I was asking the ambulance driver, I thought I had been in a car accident, and in fact, I had not. I had hit my head on the ceramic floor. they kept me for 2 days, and I was fine after that, but it fell a little bit off. And that was right about the time I had before I had my car accident. So right about the time I had two significant things happen mentally that were traumatic. And the way I've always lived my life is something negative comes into your life, you try to manage it in a way that makes it, and that you make the most positive out of it that you can. Never really had anyone there for me, so I just do it for me. And sometimes it makes people on the outside of me think that I'm being selfish, but I'm just trying to get by. I think that's maybe why people maybe think that there's something different going on with me in the way I look at things. Things I have had to go through, people I've dealt with that have been negative, I wouldn't wish them on anyone. But these things, they they feel like they're very scarring, and maybe that's why I'm having this go on. I just had to make a record of it so somebody knew. You know, these things don't happen very often. They seem to happen every 6 months or so. So I think if I make it known this has been going on, I I think I have one of these things happen maybe every 6 months or so, maybe a little bit more time than that. But with what's going on with me physically, I felt like I had to make a record of it. So um, today is December 27th, 2016. And so somewhere along the way, something happens with me. They kind of know something has been going on. Until I can get into the doctor and explain it and help people understand. I've always tried to something going on with me. I never want to trouble anyone else.